Hey guys, we're going to be doing an app opening speed test between the Nexus 5 and the iPhone 6. Now, this is by no means a scientific test, but of course I'll try and be as accurate as humanly possible. They are both connected to the same Wi-Fi network, both are completely stock, no custom ROMs or custom kernels on my Nexus 5, not even root, and it is set to Dalvik, by the way, it's not set to ART. Hardware-wise, the Nexus 5 has the Snapdragon 800, which is a quad-core CPU clocked at 2.3 GHz. The iPhone 6 has the Apple A8 processor, which is a dual-core CPU clocked at 1.4 GHz. You can see the 13 apps I'll be using here. There's not really any major reason for this app choice. These are pretty much my most used applications. I've also cleared the multitasking menus for both, so yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so we're starting off with Facebook here. Again, I'll try and be as accurate as I possibly can. The Nexus 5 is done, followed by the iPhone 6, pretty close there. Instagram next, and I think the iPhone 6 was just a hair in front with loading the image, but the Nexus 5 did actually finish refreshing the stream first. IMDb is next. The Nexus 5 was definitely first to show content, but I think the iPhone 6 did just about finish first. Next up we have the If This Then That application. The iPhone 6 was a tad quicker that time. Next up we have Spotify. Nexus 5 is done. Some additional load time on the iPhone 6, it's now complete, so the Nexus 5 was definitely first on that round. Twitter, the feed is first on the Nexus 5, some fancy animations on the iPhone 6, but the actual feed appeared first on the Nexus 5. Google+, again the feed appears first on the Nexus 5, but what's interesting here is the iPhone 6 does refresh the feed, the Nexus 5 doesn't, so you have to take that into account of course. So what we're seeing here, guys, is this is very tightly matched. It's actually nip and tuck either way. Sometimes the iPhone 6 is winning, sometimes the Nexus 5 is winning. What's interesting here is the Nexus 5 is about a year old. We're probably going to see a refresh for the Nexus 5 pretty soon. When I opened Chrome, I actually found this bit quite interesting, so I actually slowed this down. I hit these at pretty much exactly the same time, but you'll see the iPhone 6 reacts instantly. The Nexus 5 is a little bit delayed, but it does catch up and actually finish loading Chrome first. So as I was saying before, it's pretty impressive that the Nexus 5 is able to keep up with the iPhone 6 considering it is a year old. Just shows you how fast the Nexus 5 is on stock Android with that Snapdragon 800 processor. Don't forget this video is just focused on raw app opening speed. There's loads of other performance tests to do like how fast the web browser is and gaming performance. I went ahead and turned off animations because I always get a lot of questions saying the iPhone 6 has deliberately slow animations. So I put reduced motions on. I've also turned the animations off on the Nexus 5. Again, I cleared all the recents. And we did the test again, and basically it was the same result. The Facebook app was quite a bit faster to load on the Nexus 5 in both occasions, but generally it was pretty much the same story. Sometimes the Nexus 5 would win, sometimes the iPhone 6 would win, but the margins in either case are very small. Both these phones are still very fast. Would you honestly notice or care if you didn't have both devices next to each other like I do now? Probably not, no, but it is still interesting to see that even a year-old device like the Nexus 5 can actually still stand up, at least in terms of the raw app opening speed, to the iPhone 6. And let's not forget the major difference in the price between these two devices as well. I actually mentioned in my initial impressions video for the iPhone 6 that it didn't feel like a major step up in terms of performance over the iPhone 5S, and this video is pretty much going along those lines as well. It doesn't feel like it's that much faster. I think Apple themselves did actually say that it's about 25% more powerful than the iPhone 5S, which isn't as big a performance gain as what we usually see from Apple. So all in all, in this test, these two devices are very tightly matched, which is very impressive for the Nexus 5 considering it's a year-old device, and a little bit disappointing for the iPhone 6 considering it's just been released. I'm sure loads of Apple fans were hoping it was just going to blow the Nexus 5 out the water in terms of speed, but that really didn't happen, at least in terms of the app opening speed. Of course, I'll be doing loads more tests like web browser speed and gaming performance, which may hold more of an advantage, so we'll have to wait and see on that. Stay tuned, guys. Peace out.